I wanted to find out what I picked up. Now, of course, you can't pause in this game, so then I see that thing come at me, and I'm like, oh, shoot. I think I got him down, at least down put, right? And then he does this. He freaking heals, man. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta deal with that. This was the moment that I have been waiting for this entire time, at least starting out playing this game. I have now finally decided, all right, after all this, after done enough exploring, at least for now and everything, I think I'm where I can be at to attack or try to defeat the Tree Sentinel. Greetings, everybody. We're guys doing a great channel for the video. Guys, welcome back to Elden Ring. Now, what you guys are seeing actually is a gameplay from last night as I'm recording this. This video should have been out a while ago, but I wanted to take the day to explore, get the mechanics down, learn my build, stuff like that, trial and error. So I recorded 4 hours plus of gameplay footage of me exploring, finding some stuff. As you guys can see down below me right now, I figured out Unsheathe, which apparently in this class is freaking OP and it's legit, you know what I'm saying, for this particular class. Apparently is well loved in the samurai build class. And I even found out that as a new Souls player and everything, is actually widely regarded that samurai is actually a great class to actually start with. So I just thought it looked cool, but that's the reason why I chose it, but it worked out beautifully. So this was literally me just starting out right here. Going like literally turn the game on and actually just starting the gameplay. So this kind of video, what we're going to be doing is basically looking at what I did, not the usual commentary that I normally do, is me basically just narrating over my gameplay, because I really wanted to focus on the game, learn the mechanics, all that stuff like that, trial and error. I'm gonna skip a lot of the boring stuff. So as we're seeing here on this map here, you know how it's all brown and all like this stuff like that? I didn't know about the towers that you could find to actually get the maps. Now, like I said, I watched a lot of content creators play this, but I'm not using their gameplay to help me out, basically. But regardless, before we continue on, as you guys see the gameplay in the background for me, I want to say thank you guys so very much for the love that you guys have shown a new player. Some of you guys are new subscribers. Oh, guys, look what happened here. I opened this chest and look at this, look at this. Yep, instead of a teleportation trap or something like that, and I immediately died from a fucking snitch. So, I had to I was literally peed off because I didn't know what that was. I want to thank you guys so very much. We got over, I think last I looked, I think 10 or 11 subscribers in the last Elden Ring gameplay. So I sincerely thank you guys for that. It truly means a lot. You guys were really generous in the comments. You guys helped me out a bunch. I know one person in the comments said something about Unsheathed, so I actually figured that out. One person was saying, hey, go back to the towers, places with all the knights and stuff like that, because I forgot something or I find something useful. I'm going to assume it was one of the map towers, because I ended up finding that, but that wasn't the first time I found it. It was literally me just exploring and everything, which you guys will see here and everything. But I'm not gonna narrate the entire 4+ hours of commentation or anything like that. At the same time, you guys will see some of the stuff that I did. So first thing we are gonna go over is that I figured out Unsheathe. I did take the bow out. I actually do end up actually getting rid of the bow, because the one thing about this game, which after exploring and everything, I finally figured out, or at least not necessarily figured out, but I can understand wholeheartedly why a lot of people love this game. Just exploring and grinding stuff out and figuring things out that can help your build. So this is me just exploring. I found this tunnel here. I was going to do the something catacombs first. I do end up doing that later. I wanted to explore a lot more, because I really felt like I missed a lot of stuff just going through this at first. I ended up finding this. I didn't know that motherfucker did that. So of course I'm sitting here, I'm getting it. Yeah, see, so I figured out Unsheathed. I don't know what I was doing, and I thought I had time to roll. Like, this is, like I said, trial and error. This is literally all. So I died a bunch on me exploring and figuring things out. So I died a good chunk of times. So as you guys see here, I didn't get rid of the bow just yet, but I ended up getting rid of it later on. I did end up already getting rid of the shield, I want to say, I believe, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I figured out Unsheathed, but there's a strat on way to use it, and I was trying to figure out how to use it. But I will say I was using it a lot in this playthrough, to where like that was like my only moveset that I was using. And of course, there you go, your boy dies again. So so yeah, guys, this is literally what I was doing this entire time. So this is, like I said, this is not how my series of Elden Ring is gonna go the entire time, just narrating my gameplay. I just wanted to take this time to explore and learn some things on this, instead of just having the camera in front of me and just commentating and all that good stuff like that. So I wanted to just have the camera just recording my gameplay, and just me just sitting back in my chair and just taking the game in. I did find the spot in the game that I've seen multiple times throughout other videos and other people playing it, that I think is the absolutely most gorgeous place in the game that I at least have seen. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys at least some of the stuff that I figured out, some of the stuff that I did at least in this playthrough, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. So here now, I ended up finding another whole area. I ended up getting out of the tunnels here, going in this area here. Now this is literally me just exploring right now. So a whole new area exploring. I've been checking my map every so often. Yeah, Swamp of Aeonia, that's how you say it. Getting hit by that, freaking learning how to ride the homeboy torrent, no pause on that. Literally just exploring some spots. I think I actually run into a boss in this part here, or was considered a boss, but I ended up, of course, you know, skipping past him, because yeah, I mean, your homeboy was not ready. And of course I was taking this time to not only explore, but also find the Lost Grace so I can, you know, fast travel, because it's a big freaking open world. So I wanted to take the time to find all these babies here. I keep calling them grave sites, but I don't know why, but yeah, so I'm figuring all this stuff out. So right now, like I said, this is all just exploring. So now I'm gonna show you guys at least where I found why my map was brown. Like that just shows that in my first run through, I was not exploring like I should have been. But hey, you know, it's like you guys did cut me some slack. You guys were really generous. So let's go ahead and cut to that. This young fella here. So this is where I learned like the smithing stones is where I can upgrade my armaments, all that good stuff and everything. I know the Ashes of War. Let's just say your boy found some stuff exploring and everything now. I ended up selling some stuff as well, because the one thing about this game, I'm gonna let this play out as I explain it too. One of the beauty things about this game that a lot of people at least love is that everyone can play this game differently. Everyone has a certain build. You can build, you know, have a strength build. There's other builds you can have, but like what I was doing, at least when I level up, you guys will see my mind was, I want to be more of an aggressor type player. So strength or dexterity was my big thing, but because I'm gonna be like the aggressor and always mainly charging at the enemy if I can, or at least play defensively on some extent too, I was upgrading vigor a lot, because there's probably gonna be some times where I may trade off with a boss or anything like that. I ended up selling that Ash of War as well, the parry, because I don't think I was going to use that. I ended up selling these swords because I'm not really a fan of those. The sword that I have now, I know there's another one you can get, which you guys will see in this video. I do find another one. But yeah, you guys will see my final build and everything, how I'm running into this. And I ended up selling the shields. I do sell the long bow. This is me like collecting the runes and everything that I at least want. Strengthening the armaments. I don't have enough smithing stones, at least at this time, for now at least. But you guys will see how this plays on. So this is me like figuring stuff out, getting to know a lot more stuff and everything. So I'm just trying to figure out how your boy is gonna play it. So riding around here in the swamp, this is me like taking in just how beautiful this game is. But yeah, so we're going up. We see a merchant up ahead, of course, and then right here, I'm actually about. Well, yeah, I heard someone throw something at me. Like you got no peace in some parts of this game. I swear, there's enemies all around the freaking place. But I found the merchant, but then I ended up finding this here. So I ended up going, and then I see. I'm pausing it right here. I see up top here, it looks like it's glowing a little bit at the top. That's where I was looking at. So I was like, okay. And then I stopped it, and I saw that thing pick up down at the bottom, and I saw that, and that's the map. Right there is when I was like, wait a minute, don't tell me that's what I was missing. And then I see this right here. This is the map that I keep seeing, part of the map at least, that I can see on everyone's video. And I was like, why is mine so bland? And then that's where I find out here, like, yo, it's... So I ended up finding out the map. I was like, how this looks by going to that right there. And I ended up finding out that here on the barren maps here, if I scroll out, there's like these little, I'm actually hovering the mouse over, like these little parts right here is where these towers are at. So like the little plain map shows you where you can find them. Like I said, this is why your boy is exploring. And like there's so many Lost Grace that I have missed just from my very first video. So I find a decent amount, I'm sure not all of them, but a decent amount at least throughout this gameplay. So I finally figured out how to upgrade, or at least update my map so it looks a lot more presentable. Now I kept on going, and I found this little dragon little area. Now I'm at Fort Fair, if that's how you say it. So I'm trying to explore here. I see something glowing behind there. So my whole goal here was to try to find my way on how to get up there, or at least get around that corner. So of course I climb up this ladder, and there's a chest up here, and I find a medallion, like the right side of a medallion here. I'm not sure what it's going to be used for. Spoiler alert, I ended up finding the left and the right one, but I'm not sure what they're for. I say spoiler alert, but I'm just letting you guys know. So yeah, deck this medallion the right side here. So this is me just looking around here, looking at my map, okay? And then I'm trying to figure out where to go to get to that that area where it was glowing, because I was looking all around there that I'm gonna skip and I couldn't find it. So let me go ahead and go there right now. So going through here after doing some ring around the rose and stuff like that, I ended up going here, the Ragadon's Source Seal. Now, as soon as I grab it, I want to look at it and take, the thing about this game, you can't pause. So I want to look at it, but I can't and see what I got. I was like, but these rats, I swear to fucking gosh, if the knights didn't pee me off, these guys would pee me off. So I was trying to, at this point, I couldn't see the ladder. It was in my head, it was dark. I couldn't see the ladder. Then I saw it and I'm trying to climb up and this is what happens. Okay, never mind. I actually thought he actually hit me down. I think actually when I go up the other ladder here, trying to basically go back and leave this place because I didn't think there was anything else in here. At least I went back in here. I was like, but there was nothing else in here that I at least could find. So I'm trying to get out of here, find a way to get back out, and I see that ladder there. But then this happens here. This is when it happens. Yeah, I go down and then I die again. So after that death, I notice I have some golden runes here, so I can, get runes down at their bottom, of course, there, so I can level up, which I ended up doing. So I got 7,500, and now I know what kind of build I want to do already. So when I got those runes, I ended up doing this here. So now I get a chance to look into this. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this real quick. So I ended up finally getting to read what this is. So greatly raises attributes, but also increases damage taken. Now, I will say this. For the longest time here while I was playing it, I thought that with this in my talisman or inventory, I thought this was already in effect. Okay, this is, like I said, this is me learning. I thought this was already in effect. I didn't have to do anything. It's in my pocket. It raises them attributes. I just couldn't see it. That's what I thought. So you guys know, I end up figuring it out later, but that's what I thought. So now I see what it is. Greatly raises attributes, but also increases damage taken. Depending, at this point here, I was wondering, well, is it worth it having it? Then I don't know. It depends on how you play it. I was like, but I will say this is the talisman that I chose to have active. It's not active right now because I still didn't know that it's not like activated in my inventory, if that makes sense. So 7,500 runes. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna upgrade. I think I upgraded vigor and dexterity. Oh no, endurance. Okay, and dexterity. Okay, cool. Yeah, so because I want to have a little bit more stamina, of course. I didn't upgrade strength yet because there was a part here where I figured out that if you upgrade strength and dexterity, sometimes depending on which one you do can upgrade the same thing, or more will upgrade. One of them will upgrade more than the other. It's vice versa. So I ended up. Well, I won't tell you what I did. You guys will see. But now I have that. In retrospect, I didn't upgrade strength because I did a decent amount of that last video. So one thing at least, I want to make sure I upgrade vigor plenty because I know how I'm gonna play as a player. I'm gonna be more on the aggressive side more than the defensive side. But of course, depending on which boss, then that depends. So now we're at level 19, as you guys can see up here at the top here. So now here, as you guys can see, I'm back in the whole little area that I was at in the beginning, and I found the map in this whole area here, which I think homie in the comments was telling me, hey, go back to that spot. You'll find something useful. Something like that he said in the comments, but I appreciate you, brother, man. You know who you are. But yeah, I ended up going back here and I ended up finding that. Now, this is me trying to square up to this knight again, because at this point, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I got unsheathed now. I know, well, at least I know how to use unsheathed and all that stuff like that. And then I'm still funking up, and then, yeah, and all that happened. So, do I run away? Yeah, okay, I better say, I think I run away. So a person in the comments made me feel good about running away. And after exploring and everything like that in this video, yeah, your boy runs away at least plenty of times to, heal up, all that stuff like that, because there's no freaking way. Some of these guys I cannot handle yet. All right, now I had to include this part in here. So remember in the first video, I kept hearing a voice or anything like that. So I ended up going to another spot here, and I keep hearing this voice, and I'm like, okay, I gotta find this. My first thought is that it was something like small, like someone really small, or someone in these trees, just some type of creature or anything like that. But then I noticed something. It kind of caught me a little bit. You see all these trees, you see the yellow trees, you see these green trees, all this stuff like that. But then I see this bush right here, and that's why I started to walk towards it, because the voice is starting to get louder. So I was like, okay, so the game is telling me where to go in a sense, but it was like iffy. So that's why I walked to that bush. I thought maybe I was gonna get like an indicator to do something or anything like that. I didn't get no indicator, nothing like that. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just overthinking it. But this bush was standing out too heavy because it didn't look like any of these other bushes here. So I was like, okay, it's gotta be this, but maybe something's not hitting up or anything. That's why I walked towards it. But then I ended up walking away from it, and now the voice is behind me, and I turn, I hear in the voice, yeah, the voice is, going, you guys know what you guys know where I'm going with this. And at first I thought it was that little skeleton thing. I hit it, I was like, okay, well, it ain't that. And then so as I turn this camera here, I hear the voice again. And now the voice is like in my headset, in my headset on my left, according to this camera here. And then I was like, okay, it's gotta be this bush. It just is standing out too heavily. And then I did this. There we go. So now exploring more of this right here, I go up on this cliff here. I'm still trying to practice unsheath and everything with these guys. And these motherfuckers do like an ultra combo on my ass. I'm like, geez. So this is me still trying to get used to unsheath. I can see why unsheath is incredibly great. Incredibly great. And so I found this. Gold pickled foul foot. Now, of course, if you guys are a Souls player, Elden Ring, you guys know exactly what this is. So I ended up finding this. There was this big thing that I was slashing at in that little dragon area. And it looked like health wasn't going down, but there was a part where I would slash it and a big chunk of health was going down. So there was an opportunity that I could kill it, but it was gonna take a while. So I figured, what if I use this but kill that? What would that affect? Because it's a big thing. So I'm assuming it's big. I kill it, maybe it can give me some runes. Boy, did your boy hit a gold mine. But before we get there, I ended up finding this first when I was actually roaming around the area a little bit. Now this right here, Riverwell, I found this by accident. Guys, this area here is so freaking beautiful. I'm gonna skip this part here because it's actually a pretty long way to go down. I seen a video of this area and it was like a split second. And I was like, this area just looks so incredibly beautiful. I wanna reach there and explore it. I finally freaking reached it. And I will say, something happened at this particular, not at this part here, but in this area where I was so upset. I lost a good chunk of runes here because I didn't usually now I get to a point where if I have a lot of runes and if I can spend it with leveling up, I'm gonna freaking spend it because losing it kills me. But I finally found this part here. So I was exploring a good chunk of this spot here. Now, one thing that I didn't do, well, that I try to do that I didn't, in this area here, there's places where you can light flames at like, looks like grave sites. I didn't do them all because maybe something was supposed to happen, I'm not sure. But I was lighting the flames in some of the areas. I was going to any of these things that are lit up and everything, materials and everything. Some of these are runes, like golden runes that, that I can use to get more runes in my pocket here. Like that, for example. So I found a good chunk of those and everything like that. And I learned now when it comes to those, I'm not going to use those until I'm back by a Law's Grace to where I can level up and stuff like that, or I can use it. Now, of course, this is a different area. Those funking crabs funk them dang things. So I ended up just skipping a lot of that and all that stuff like that because I was really just eager to see this freaking area. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most beautiful place in this game, at least that I've played so far. I know there's other areas in the game that you guys may prefer, but this is just so gorgeous. I loved exploring this place. I loved it. It was so incredibly awesome. Now, I didn't show this previously, but before I left that dragon area, I found this right here. It just looked so huge and it stood out. So I started slashing away and I saw the health right here, right? Now, this is where I said I think I found a gold mine by accident or something like that. So this big thing right here, I was kept slashing it, but then something happened. Look at his health. I don't think it's like right here as I was slashing it, because obviously I'm getting health down, but he's really incredibly tough. But then something happened on one of these slashes. Okay, right here. So I slash, look what happened to his health right here. 13K health out of nowhere. I didn't do anything special. I just slashed it normally, right? I'm using unsheath, I'm just slashing away and I see that. So it's like I'm seeing an opportunity that maybe he has a weak spot that I'm hitting at, or maybe I'm just getting lucky. I don't know what's going on. So me hacking and slashing away at this dude for no BS, maybe about 15 minutes, I will get like random like spikes of health that just drink whatever, that drains whatever this is. I'm gonna assume a big dragon. I don't know what it is, but it never attacked me. I don't know what it was. But I wanted to kill this thing and see how much runes it'll give me, because my thought process was the bigger the enemy, the more runes you get. So this is what I ended up doing. Now at this point, his health is really low. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this golden little thing right here. It looks like an eagle's leg, a talon. So his health is right here. All I'm aiming, because it's set for a time. Now I don't know for how long it lasts. My goal was to use that, hopefully it lasts long enough to where, hopefully kill this thing right here. I just need just one big critical strike. If I can get that and take this down, then hopefully it'll give me a decent amount of runes. It did more than that. All right, big strike incoming, bam. So now he's down, right? So now, okay, I killed this thing. So now I'm sitting here waiting like, okay, well, when he's gonna disappear, when are my runes I'm gonna get, because it's still activated. On the bottom right here, I ended up earning basically 65K runes just like that. The biggest runes I ever freaking got just from getting that. And I'm getting Dragon's Heart. I still don't know what to use that for or anything. I got 5 of those. So I killed a big behind dragon. I don't even know the name of that thing. I didn't even see anything. I don't even see anything. But I ended up getting 65 runes just for that. And of course, having that little talent thingamajiggy, that worked out beautifully too. This is what I ended up using for leveling up, because I was like, oh dang, that's a lot. I was excited at this point. So now I have like 97K runes. So I go back to the Lost Grace. So at this point here, I'm sitting here waiting. I was like, I got a lot of runes here. What am I gonna use it on? So this is what I ended up doing, okay? And I'm leveling up Vigor to 20, okay? Leveling up, still going. Endurance, I wanted to get my stamina up there. I'll put that up to the 20. I was trying to match things up a little bit here. So this is still me thinking like, what do I wanna do? This is literally me thinking, because this is a lot of freaking runes here, right? So I did those. Vigor, no, there was no questions asked. Endurance, no questions asked. I had to upgrade that. Now here's what I'm trying to decide. Do I want to upgrade dexterity or strength first, right? So dexterity, now mind you, this is me in my head still thinking that little item that I got that is that greatly raises the attributes but more damage taken. At this point in my head, that is activated, right? But I don't see it anywhere. So I upgraded the dexterity and I was like, okay, well I still have plenty more left. Let me go ahead and upgrade the strength. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm legit not thinking about these 3 right here. Intelligence, Faith, and Arcane. I'm really not thinking about any of these 3. Because of what they do, I'm really not thinking about it. Maybe I'll suffer for it, maybe later on in the game, I'm not sure. But I'm not really thinking about any of these. The only thing I would think of upgrading when it comes to these, maybe Intelligence and Faith, because there's some weapons that I actually would love to try. But I had to upgrade at least these 2. I know Arcane is like finding, you know, loot and stuff like that, so I don't really care about this one. But these 2, I can kind of understand, depending on what weapon you are looking for, why you would want to upgrade this, because you at least need a certain amount to wield that weapon. I think that's how it goes. So I wasn't even thinking about these 2, at least at the time. I was like, but this is what I ended up doing here. So right now we're at level 19, going on to 37. I think I still have. I think this is where I ended right here, right? Strength at 17. Or I lowered that down a little bit. I think here's when I yeah, I think this is where I even it out. So 2020, mine is still at 11, and yep, this is how I ended up doing it. So I ended up spending all of that, and now I'm at level 37, just like that, from stroke of luck of using that, just fighting that big freaking thing. At this point, I already still explored and everything like that. So I got this level. So here, I think after this, I decided to go into the catacombs finally. I think I'm not too sure, because I was exploring a good chunk of it. Okay, I take that back. No, so now I ended up going to another area, and this is called Fort Height. So I'm going up this ladder, and this is where I said before where I found the other medallion here. So this is where I find the left side of the medallion, because we ended up finding the right side. All right, so now I went back down the ladder, and I'm getting attacked by this big behind motherfucker here, right? So I go trying to heal up. Now the one thing that I'm struggling on here is I heal up, but it's like I'm picking the wrong times to heal. I heal up and it's like I can't dodge, I can't do anything, so I'm trying to find the right times to heal. Now this night I have fought before, like these kinds of nights, but for some reason I couldn't get this one. So I will say, yeah, so me trying to heal up, I want to kill Homeboy, and Homeboy does end up killing me, right? Because I think I miscalculated one of his hits. Yeah, okay. So yeah, he ended up killing me. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show actually me beating him, because I actually do end up beating him. So fighting this night, after a considerable amount of time, I ended up finally beating him, and then I earned this bloody slash. Now guys, after I figured out how to put this on my weapon, I'm not gonna say it was game over, but man, okay. I was like, okay. So, and I actually found out like other places where I can earn Ash of War depending on what it is, but I funks with this one right here. So I do end up actually putting this on my weapon late. I don't think I put it on right now. Do I? Oh no, I think I gotta go to the smith to put that on. I believe so, but I know I do put it on. So now I'm at the Third Church of America, and what I decided to do, you know that area that these are like the Beasts of Karank or something like that. So there was a part of the map where it says Sending Gate. So I went here, and that's where I'm at right here to go through that. So I'm trying to follow that on the map, and I do end up finding it, and this is where of course I find the Beast Sanctum. I think that's what it's called. Okay, well, Grail's Dragon Barrel. Now Homeboy in the back, I didn't attempt to fight him because I've seen him in videos before. I'm not ready for him yet. I'm not even gonna freaking attempt. But I ended up going in here. I do end up giving homie the death root, but not yet though. I didn't give it to him yet, I believe. I didn't give it to him yet, but I was a little concerned because I saw homeboy there, then I saw homie here. I was like, so I kept pushing the lock button to see if this is a boss inside here. So no, it's not. And then I ended up just talking to him, of course, because they hand over death root or anything like that. And this is when in my head I'm like, is this who I think it is? I'm not sure. I was like, but of course I ended up finding later on that this is who homie is. I do end up going back, giving him the death root, okay? And what did I press on to after that? You know, beast eye. So of course the beast eye depends on, you know, where, if there's any death root nearby. At this point here, I decided I'm gonna go ahead and go to the catacombs. I'm level 37, 37 right now. And I was, okay, let me go ahead and go back to the catacombs, because at this point, maybe I have enough level to do whatever I'm doing in this catacombs or anything like that. But I remember last video, I kept hearing this voice. So in my head, now that I found that little bush thing, I thought that it was gonna be another bush that I had to find. No, it was this freaking pot here that I had to freaking help. You know, sweet guy, generous guy. So I ended up getting him unstuck, so now I don't have to worry about hearing that voice no more. Now in this catacombs, your boy struck it rich, was when I found this, the Uchi Katana. The sword that I already have. So now I can dual wield, but I can't enter it yet because these freaking skeletons were all over your boy. So now at this point, what I'm doing is basically running past them, not even gonna fight them. I'm not even gonna bother with it, at least right now. So right now I'm going back to the Grace. I was like, you know, basically sit down, regain all my health and stamina, all that good stuff. And then re-equipping, now I got dual wield Uchi Katanas. And then after that, I do fight the boss after this. But of course, before I fight the boss, I had to go back into that, into the catacombs and pull that lever. I didn't pull it at first because I didn't know what it did. So now I'm in here. Now, this boss was incredibly easy, incredibly easy. I wonder why his health is down like that already. I didn't attack him yet. At least I don't think I did. But but you see, this is me trying to use the bloody slash on him because I want to test it out against the boss. But homie kept backing away from me. So I'm trying to find out his pattern so I can do it. And it took out a lot of health on homeboy, as you guys can see. So not a hard boss. So at this point I went ahead and defeated homeboy. I didn't die to him, thankfully. And then I went ahead and just exit out of the catacombs, and then I ended up doing the next thing after this. I wanted to go down the map further because it looked like this is a spot that I can enter. So I'm around this area, looking around, all that good stuff like that. And I'm in a whole new spot here, trying to cross over this bridge. I just end up skipping a lot of those enemies. There's no way I'm gonna defeat all those, at least right now. So I'm like, okay, so I'm looking around, all that good stuff like that. So I'm in a whole new area. And I end up talking to homegirl up here. I'm gonna end up skipping that, but I end up talking to homegirl here. And I think I move up a little bit more because the map is incomplete. It still has that brown look. So I think I went up further to the next tower to at least get the open area of this particular map. Okay, so now the next area I went to were the Limegrave tunnels. Now this tunnel is a freaking godsend. Okay, of course I find a Grace here, but there's a lot of smithing stones here. The miners in here were relatively easy to beat. They can pretty gang up on you. And then of course, after finding a lot of the smithing stones, which I ended up using to upgrade a lot of my armaments, of course here, I ended up fighting the boss that's here, which I actually did struggle a little bit. Okay, so as soon as I enter, this is me trying to, that was me trying to leave because I was like, I don't think I'm ready for homeboy. But I was like, all right, I got bloody slash, all this good stuff. Let me see if I can, let me see what I can do against, you know, a boss, right? So, because this is my first, yeah, other than the catacombs boss, this is my first boss like that at least something huge that I'm actually fighting now, to see if my bloody slash or if I'm at the right level to actually defeat the homeboy. So learning his patterns and all that good stuff like that. After that first bloody slash and saw how much health I was able to take out, I was like, okay, if I can at least get his pattern down, then I should be able to at least defeat homeboy. But of course I only had one flash left because the miners did take me out, or not take me out, but they were hitting me plenty. I of course failed the first few attempts. So yeah, this boss was actually a little bit of a struggle. But like I said before in my first video, the thing about these bosses is that you got to learn their patterns. But the problem with their patterns is they do a lot of charge motions, and it's just timing that charge to where you can roll or dodge and you be set. But sometimes that's not always the case. So it took me about, I think I want to say 4 or 5 tries on this guy before I ultimately ended up beating him. So I finally get here, one more slash, homeboy's down. So I was really excited on actually defeating him. I was like, okay. And this is what I mean when I'm like, yo, winning in this game feels freaking fun. It feels so good. after you die a few times and then you finally win, right? So after this, I ended up going to the round table because now I have a lot of smithing stones, and then I go back to the round table and I think I use the smithing stones, and then I fight somebody. I fight somebody that was giving me a good decent amount of hard time. So after using the smithing stones and using a majority of my runes here, I ended up upgrading my Uchi Katana on my left arm to +3, and then on my right arm to +3 as well. Let me go back. Let me go back a little bit. They should be both +3. Yep, Uchi Katana +3 and Blood Katana +3. So I ended up using these smithing stones to get them at least blood. Well, not blood, but to +3. And then I ended up running into an enemy here because I was able to jump down off a balcony into an area here, and I ended up mistakenly finding a boss that I was not expecting. Oh yeah, and just to let you guys know, I do end up finding out, because I ended up finding this medallion right here where it increases, you know, it raises your maximum HP. I do end up finding out how to use these, because as you guys can see here, now it's at +20. These are at +25. They upgraded 5. So these were at 20 and I ended up plussing 5, and then of course same thing with vigor and all that stuff like that, and these went up too. So I do end up finding out how to use these. These are the talismans. I do end up finding how to use that, but I skipped it. Now I find this balcony area and I jump down. I'm thinking I'm gonna die from fall damage. First video traumatized me a little bit. So I'm running up, I'm running around. I was like, okay, I see opening here. Let me go ahead and check this out. So I go ahead and run up here. Something shows up on my screen, invaded by Mad Tongue Alberich, if that's how you say his name. So I've seen that before. There was an enemy that I fought in a little lake area that I ended up beating pretty quickly. I just didn't show it in the video. But it was by Murkwater Cave or something like that. It was in that area, and I ended up fighting a boss that was red, like this guy here. I ended up fighting him and beating him pretty quickly because someone basically helped me. But I seen this, but I didn't see an enemy. I don't see a boss. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna think about it right now. That shows up. I was like, okay, why did that show up out of nowhere? Okay, so I ended up just going ahead and picking this up, and then this happens. As I'm checking my inventory, you know, just looking around just normally. I wanted to find out what I picked up. Now, of course, you can't pause in this game. So then I see that thing come at me, and I'm like, oh shoot, right? I was ill prepared, and then homeboy just hit me with a nice 3 little piece combo, and instantly I died. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is that, right? So now I was like, okay, but where the fuck did he come from? So of course me, you know, I'm not gonna say being a stubborn Souls player, I guess you could say. I was like, okay, what the fuck hit me? I ended up finding out where he appeared. I kept going straight. I was like, okay, well, I went that archway. Is he in front of me? I'm preparing for a boss now, so I use my little flask of wonders physic right there. Like I said, there's some stuff. Like I said, there's plenty of stuff that I skipped that I ended up finding along the way. So now I'm trying to fight homie here. He's bowing. He's generous, but I'm not waiting for his bow. I'm using blood slash. Well, bloody slash. So that thing's it's spoiling me. But of course, those hits right there drained my health. And of course, he's using the funk out of these. I was like, and I'm just sitting here rolling away when I really could just run around him. I'm just trying to find an opening, right? I was like, but 2, 3, 4, like 1 or 2 hits drains my health from this freaking guy. Plus, I'm using that little thing that greatly raises my attributes, but it's increasing the damage being taken. So that's not helping either. So I figured out that pattern. I used that. Okay, I think I got him down, at least down put, right? And then he does this. He freaking heals, man. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta deal with that. I was like, come on. That's like freaking find out a Pokemon trainer or anything like a gym leader or the champion using freaking Great Restore or some ish. I'm like, funk, man. Now you can heal. I struggled with homeboy for a good little bit. Not struggled enough to a point where like I'm raging, but it's just like struggled enough to a point where I'm like, dude, what the funk? It's really like that move right there. I was trying to time that to roll across that because that's like the main opening I can find it. I did not think about hitting him while he's doing his little magical ish. I was not thinking of doing that. I do eventually defeat him. Now with the health, if I heal him, if maybe I can kill him before he heals, I don't know, but I ended up freaking getting him to a point where like I got really lucky with him. He was using moves that I could at least find an opening on. He already healed at this point, and I was like, I just needed one more hit, slashed him, and we got him right here. So Invader vanquished, and I ended up getting the Taunter's Tongue. So I ended up getting that. I jumped up a little celebration there. So I ended up getting that. Now, this next part, oh my freaking gosh. This was the moment that I have been waiting for this entire time, at least starting out playing this game. I have now finally decided, all right, after all this, after done enough exploring, at least for now and everything, I think I'm where I can be at to attack or try to defeat the tree sentinel. So in my head, I'm rushing up to him. I'm like, all right, yo, we meet again. I'm level 30 something now. At this point, I'm strong, right? So most enemies and bosses that I've done bloody slash with, they have been like knocked over, stunned, or you name it. It interrupts them. This funker here was no joke. I'm thinking in my head, I was like, oh, once I get him with a bloody slash, freaking, I was like, cool, he'll be stunned a little bit. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, but trying to figure out his patterns and all that stuff like that. I was just trying to get close so I can finally hit him. I do a little slash. I could not get bloody slash to save my life. I just wanted to hit him once with this freaking thing. I hit him, he doesn't get stunned. At this point, I'm like, oh no, he doesn't get stunned from this. He has good poise. So now this is like the first boss that I have to deal with where like freaking he does not get stunned. I have to figure out his patterns and I have to do what I gotta do. I didn't do any normal slashes like, you know, the left bumper, right bumper, none of that. I was just so using bloody slash, period, and trying to figure out his patterns really. But there was some moves that he was doing where like I could dodge, but the thing about it, this is where I was raging. I didn't have the mic on or anything like that, but I was a little bit raging at this point because the issue that I was having with not only was timing, but when I got the timing down, I would push on my controller the circle button or Xbox controller the B button, where like to dodge, I would press it, but my character wouldn't do it. So it was like, it was just enough to where like in those milliseconds where like the delay, controller delay, if there's any, where like, I could not dodge. It was just right on time to where I couldn't dodge and he would hit me. So kept going, and that move right there, I was trying to time that one, but I couldn't time it. Every time I try to roll out of that move, I'll always get hit, and then I would dodge that, but then I'll get hit by that, and then of course I would die, right? So me and homeboy duked it out for like a good little bit at this part. Now, as you guys can see, I have 1,500 runes, right? At this point here, I have no runes or anything like that. My goal at this point is probably stupid. I was getting so rage built up. I was like, funk the runes. I just need to kill you. That was my sole purpose. Sole purpose, no pun intended. That was my sole purpose. I keep hitting my mic. Sole purpose in this whole me getting leveled up or anything like that was beating this funky thing, funk the runes, nothing like that. I didn't lose 97K or anything like that. I just lost 1,500. I was like, you know, I can take this. I need to kill this funking bench. I want to be able to run through this field and not worry about this funker. Like, this was like the first boss in this game where I was legit struggling. Forget the mag tongue dude, the boss, the black assassins, like the catacombs, those were, no, whatever. This dude here was the biggest challenge that I've had so far in this game. And from what I know, he's a boss, but he's not considered the boss. I think Margit is like the first like boss. People are like, yo, that one is a different breed. I haven't reached him yet. I don't know if I can reach him yet. I don't know where he's at. Here, yeah, this is the first dude I was struggling. I wasn't even paying, like the rooms that are on the ground, that still says 0. Like I said, this is already like my 7th or 8th attempt at this point of trying to defeat this motherfucker. I thought that was the one. Now, when I was fighting him, in my head, I was like, yo, this is the one. But I did not say it out loud because I did not want the game to hear me and jinx it. So throughout this, my whole goal was at least get the first hit on him at least. That didn't work. I tried to dodge that move. It didn't work. So this is me, and not only that, what I was struggling with was healing. My guy, it takes forever in my head for my guy to heal. It's like you got to find the right time to heal because while you're healing, you can't do anything. You're vulnerable AF. So still dealing with that. That was probably the easiest move to dodge was the shield one. And then of course, not that one, but the one where he runs at you and swings. So when he runs at me and swings, I decided I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dodge going towards him that way so I can at least, it was like, you know, get behind him and like hit him. I was like, but after all the struggles, all this BS with the freaking tree sentinel, I had one more health. I was like, and every time I healed up, I would get hit. All I needed was one more slash on homeboy. That move right there, I should have dodged backwards to get right near him. But then I did it. I freaking did it, guys. The exhilaration that I felt finally killing this motherfucker. Oh my God, that right there was the first, and for me was the first boss or the first enemy that I had trouble with. I died a considerable amount of times in this playthrough, yes, so far, but that one was the first biggest challenge that I had. Mind you, I'm already at level 30 something at this point. So I thought I was at least, not gonna say more than enough, but at least enough to where I can at least, I was like, you know, be a considerable opponent for homeboy. No, homie showed me up quite a few times. So that was the last thing that I did, and then I ended it for that last night basically. But yeah, your boy managed to get some stuff done at least on that. So at least right here, as you guys can see on the screen here, where I'm at right now, I'm at level 38. Right, my vigor is at 26. Realistically, it's at 21, but I have the I have this right here. I keep forgetting what this thing is called, but I ended up equipping that. I ended up learning how to equip that, and then it +5 on a lot of stuff. So my endurance, strength, and dexterity are all +5 as well with this puppy here, but I take more damage. But because I'm more of I know I'm gonna be more of an aggressor, I'm gonna end up using that, right? So everything is good, at least so far. Right now from what I'm getting at. My map is updated. My level went considerably up because I ended up doing something that worked out. I got the left and right of that medallion thing. I don't know what it's used for, but I mean, I was like, we'll figure that out as time goes on. I'm not too really concerned about that. I didn't touch intelligent, faith, and arcane just yet. Maybe later on I'll touch intelligence and faith. Maybe if I run into a weapon that I want, if I can wield it, and see if this requires it. I'm not too sure. Don't worry, this is not how the video is going to be gone through the entire time of me playing Elden Ring. I just wanted to get a chance to like not have the camera on me and just sit back, relax, and focus on the game. Just hit record so you can see the gameplay and I'll narrate over it and just explore it and like get used to it. Die a bunch of times if I have to, learn stuff, learn the mechanics and all that good stuff. And we learned plenty. At the beginning we had the bow. I decided not to keep the bow. Was that a stupid idea? I'll find out later on. I think the build that I have, at least right now, is suitable for what I want to do. Other than that, I like where I'm at right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys very much for the support that you guys shown for the first episode of this. It really means a lot. Once I get more used to the game and everything like that, maybe if I choose a day where we'll do some exploring, I'll probably stream it and we can just have a ball just chilling and like looking at some stuff and maybe struggling on stream and everything like that. But really, guys, your support and your advice and everything really means a lot. I do appreciate that. I love y'all. Y'all take care.